Hi everyone, Trust the CEO of Traders Helmet. Today I'm going to take you on the bearish, the bearish pattern of rhombus. We had in our last training we talked about the bullish, and then today we'll be looking at the bearish rhombus, how it looks, and also how you can use it to take trades. Okay, so we'll be looking at USD JPY. First of all, you know what you're looking for. You're looking for impulse. These are impulse. These are corrections, and then you have another impulse. Is that right? So we're looking at impulse, correction, impulse. Something applicable to bearish trend. Bearish trend is an upward trend. Is that right? And then we said earlier that for you to have a very good rhombus, you must first of all spot impulse, and then correction, and then impulse. If you've not watched the first introduction to our rhombus, please endeavor to do that first before coming in here. Always turn off your auto check whenever you're on your screen. Alright, so I'll take my map up here. Alright, so this is my screen. I'm looking at this guy here. This is a good impulse. There's been a correction here, and there's another impulse. Remember, we're looking at the sell market. Trying to zoom and see what happens here. Alright. Okay. Alright. Alright, so once you've spotted your an uptrend, and then this is your impulse, and then you have your first correction. Your impulse and your first correction. You can raise this up. This is the starting of your impulse, right? This is the starting of the impulse. Some of the price, your price must always fall in your first triangle, and if it doesn't, then it's not a good one there. Please take note. If it doesn't, it's not a good one there. So price must always fall inside the first triangle. You can see my price is inside. This is close to the triangle at the beginning, but the price is inside. Alright, so next thing you do, you get your trend line. You run a trend line from your line A to B. Remember, it's a sell trend, so this is your A, and this becomes your B, and this becomes your C. Remember, this has to be a little bit higher than this. Alright, sorry about that. So get another trend line from B to C, right? And you pick up the first line and place it in front, right? Pick up the second line and place it beneath your rhombus is formed. As simple as that. Your rhombus is formed. Alright guys, so now you're looking for a line you pick up another trend line that runs from this B. This is our A, this is our A, this is our B, this is our C. Is that right? So you're looking for this guy. So this becomes our B running across. Here will be our E, and here will be our D. The last point, remember. So in bullish, it was the other way around. Bullish, that means the market is buying. That's why you see it will be the other way around. We call it regular rhombus. Is that right? So the bearish is this other way around, because the price, you are expecting a price to fall. So you're looking for a breakout. So, and this is what you're doing, right? So here, once you bring down this line here from line B, this is your line E, and then this is your line D. All right. So where these two lines are meeting, this two line is your take profit. All right, your first take profit. What comes in? Let's see. Get your horizontal row, drop it here. Wow, we can see that the market, the moment this guy break out of the first triangle, remember, price has to break out of the first triangle and closes outside here for you to take a trade. And the moment this guy break out of the first triangle, you can see the bearish candle. The bearish candle broke out of the first triangle, and then a bullish candle was formed, but still outside the triangle. And then you placed your sell here. Put your stop loss. Your stop loss always is above. Is that right? Your stop loss is always above line B to C. Is that right? So once you take this trade, your take profit is here. And remember, your take profit here is always 100%. Take profit 1 is always 100%. So you can see the moment it left the first triangle, it hits take profit 1. It hits take profit 1. You can see what price did here. Take profit 1 has been done. And then the take profit 2 didn't. Let's see. This is your TP2, right? This is your TP2, and you didn't get to your TP2, and your TP3 is below, very far. So take profit 1 is always 100%. And guys, here's it. If you really want to check the number of pips here from this point, let's say this is where you take this trade. You took this trade where you have this bullish candle. So from this point to this point, that means you've done about 50 pips. This is 60 pips. Wow, 60 good number of pips is done. 60 pips is done. That's just one bar. 60 pips is done, guys. You know, that's awesome. That's awesome. So you can enter this trade in 5 positions. If you are very sure and you've waited patiently for the price to break out of the first triangle, you can take this trade. Instead of going for take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3, you can take this trade in 3 to 5 positions, the same trade, and then maintain the same take profit. So once 5 of them hits the same take profit, wow, you're done for the day. Yeah, so you do 60 pips times 5. That's what you have. All right, so here is your first TP1. Your TP1 is here. Let me put it there. TP1 is done. That's your TP1. Here's your TP2. Remember, TP2 is 50%. So I don't always bother going to TP2. I just take my trade 5 positions, and then once TP1 is done, I'm good to go. Alright guys, so you can further make your rhombus look more beautiful by taking a triangle, get the points right. Once you get the points right, you can change the color right here. What color do you need? You need a blue color. If you need a blue color, you have a blue color there. Right? What do you need up here? If you need any other color, let's say probably you want to go for a green color. Let's see, you get your triangle, or yeah, put it up here. You can change the color over here. Is it green? How deep do you want the green? So something like this. If you want something deeper, you can do this. You know, you can change it however you want it, anyhow you want it. You know, it's your choice. If you need a yellow color, this is what you have. All right. So guys, remember, this is a bearish rhombus. Always remember your points. This is your point A. Because it's bearish, this is your point A. Oh, sorry. Let me label it so you won't make a mistake. Point A. Let me get rid of this man. Okay, I think the size is quite too, the font size is okay, so you can see the points A clearly now. Alright, so let's get our point B. This is our point B. And here is our point C. If you've not done the first introduction class, please endeavor to go back and play the first introductory class, so you'll be able to understand what I'm doing right now. Your point E, and then here is your point G, and then you have your point X, which is your take profit 3. Alright, point D. Alright guys, so here is it for this guy. Remember, your stop loss is below, your stop loss is above point B to C. So here is your stop loss. This is where you place your stop loss. Your stop loss is above here, but this is too far. Looking at your risk reward ratio, this is too far. So I will not leave my stop loss here because it's too far. So I will leave my stop loss here. I leave my stop loss here, just a little bit below, above my last resistance. So this is where I leave my stop loss. Yes, I leave my stop loss here. Remember, this is where the price is coming. This is where you are taking the trade. Alright, I'll just leave my stop loss somewhere here. Is that right? Because I'm very sure once price breaks out of the right hand, the triangle, once price breaks out of these guys, I know take profit one is done. So before any retestment like what he did here, before we had to retest from this point, you had already taken your profit and step out of the market. But I just leave my stop loss here. So your SL will be up here. That's your SL. Alright guys, so this is done. Alright, so this is done. You can see your stop loss is done and your take profit is done, and then that's your stop loss. Alright, okay, so let's pick another currency pair and then do something else. Let's look at USD CHF. Let's look at USD CHF. 4 hours USD CHF. All right, so you can see this already. You can see you can see your impulse, you can see your correction. Impulse, correction, correction, impulse, you can see this running already. So what do you do here? What do you do here? You get your triangle. Remember, it's a bearish rhombus we're looking at. We're looking at a bearish rhombus. So you pick your triangle, pick from this point, the lowest point, you want to cross. This is where the first correction took place. And the rest, remember, your point C is always above your point B. Your point C always above point C. So also take note that all price needs to be inside the first triangle. Everything begins and ends in the first triangle. So guys, once you get your first triangle, come up here, get your trend line, run a line from point A to point B, and then also get your trend line again, run another line from point B to point C. Sorry, and then you pick up this, the line that you drew from point A to point B. You remove it and place in front of point C to pointing D, and then you remove this from D back to A. From D back to A, you can see your rhombus is formed. It's simple, guys. All right, but this requires patience and always must be 4 hours time frame. You must always use 4 hours time frame, because you don't need to use bigger lot size while trading these guys. 0.01 for proper risk management. If you have a bigger account size, you can use. If you have a bigger account size, you can use 0.10. You can use 0.50, depending on your account size, guys. Is that right? So once you get that, you run a trend line. You've already gotten a trend line running, joining points B to point D. So where the two line meets, where these guys meet together, is your TP1. Always remember, where the two line meets together is your TP1, and you can see your TP1 is done. TP1 is done. So TP1 is always 100%, guys. TP1 is always 100%. So I use this strategy. Sometimes if I don't want to use pivot strategy, I use this strategy. And so you can just study. You don't need to you don't need to know all the strategies. It's only one strategy you need. Only one strategy is all what you need, guys. If one is working for you, giving you at least 30 to 50 pips, you're good to go. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, so here is it, guys. And then my TP1 is done, and then TP2. Here is TP2, right? So here is TP2. This is where your TP2 is. All right, guys. So you have your TP2 done. Perfect, guys. So this is how you take your bearish rhombus. Remember, if you want to color it, you can always color it any color of your choice. Yes, just to make it look awesome. Is that right? Just to make it look awesome, you can put it any color of your choice. Yeah. So that is how it's done. So guys, see you in the next practical class. I believe you're doing well, and I remember this requires patience. You need to calm yourself down and wait for the breakout first before you take your trade. All right, see you at the top.